The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Carr. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Carr going to get this to Jacobs. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And that's caught by Smith. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Hilliard. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On second down, Hilliard. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on third down, Fields. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Carr going to give it to Jacobs, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
To throw his Carr. Over the middle, complete. That's Jacobs. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2. Carr going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Hilliard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They'll run. It's Hilliard. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. This is fielded at the 7. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Carr now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. The open man here, Renfro. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. The open man is Smith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the 1st down to go along with it. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Carr to throw. And this is caught by Evans. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Carr now on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Watch 98. 98's the mic. Come on, baby. Ain't no way. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
From the gun now on 3rd down. Carr. The quick slot caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
6-18.
2nd down and goal. Carr. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained. maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On the run, this is Hilliard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Off the play fake. Fields sliding out of the pocket. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. And this one travels out of bounds. So unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Here we go.
Well, go Chief. New lady. One, later one.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing now is Carr. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Carr. And this one complete to Smith. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Here's Carr looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Now what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Taylor will throw again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
56, the mic, boys. 56. Check 56.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And this one will be brought back to the 22. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Carr. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
He completes it to Evans. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll run again with Hilliard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Fields. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Carr, he's going to find and complete it to Renfro. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
What now? 180.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
They run it with Jacobs. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Carr completes it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Jacobs. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And just like that, it's third down. Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Hunter Renfrow. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after, right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll keep it on the ground. Hilliard, they'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Fields. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Running is Jacobs. And he'll get this pretty close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 21.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily The coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. They'll run on first down. Hilliard. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On second down now. Hilliard, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. On third down, Hilliard. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. He'll try and run for it, and he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. On first down, it's Jacobs. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that. Coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and